Hey guys, it's Evan and welcome to today's video, which is a how to write a spell tips and tricks for beginners. I was requested to do a how-to video and I am more than willing to do that, of course. So I decided to do a how-to on how to write a spell. Partially reason being a subscriber actually asked me in December's Q&A about some tips and tricks about how to write a spell and some tips and tricks for beginners. So I decided to just make a video and show you guys and to give you guys my advice if you have never written a spell or if you just want to kind of fine-tune your skills on spell crafting. So first and foremost, as we all know, the most important thing within working in the craft, whether it's witchcraft, Wicca, or both, is your intention. Now, not all witches incorporate Wicca into their craft, and that's totally okay. But I'm assuming that you are a Wiccan witch asking, or if you are a Wiccan witch, these are my tips and tricks. Now, your intentions are key. If you want to do say a protection spell, you have to really truly put your mind, spirit, heart, and soul into that intention. That is something that you truly want, you truly need on all levels, not just a physical level, but like I said, a mental, emotional, and a spiritual level. So your intention is key, not only within the craft, but also within your spell writing. Whatever you put down on paper, whether it be your Book of Shadows, loose leaf paper, or even if you just write it on your notepad on your cell phone, it's all about your intention. Now, when you are writing a spell, typically spells do incorporate objects, whether that be a chalice, an athame, a wand, things of that nature. But if you are using physical items, use the item that connects the most with you. For example, if you're doing a love spell, and typically or traditionally, if you will, red rose petals are traditionally an herb very much associated with love spells. Now, say red rose just doesn't really sing true love to you, say instead, the smell of jasmine is, the scent or the herb that, you can incorporate or substitute instead, because jasmine or whatever the herb is actually, has some kind of significance, whether that be a loved one gave you a jasmine scented candle and ever since then, that smell brings back love, feelings of comfort. Use the jasmine, don't use the rose. It really depends person to person. It really truly does. As long as your intention is right, it doesn't really matter the objects you use, as long as you have the purest intentions on all levels. Now, another tip and trick I want to give you guys is when you write spells, write them step by step. What you're going to need, the beginning, what you're going to say, your chant or your incantation, and your ending and how you're going to close the ritual or spell. Now, I usually do this by, after I'm done writing it, I will read it, kind of like proofread it, and I will say, yes, this makes sense, or instead of using this, I think this would work a little better for me. So it's kind of like a rough draft, right? So, and also along those lines, before I final draft anything into a Book of Shadows, I always, like I said, reread it, step by step it, and really just make sure this is really what I want. This is really going to work for me. And so that's what I really recommend. And also it's kind of like a form of practicing, you can kind of, when you are rereading it, you can kind of be like, visualize yourself doing these steps as you read it. So when you actually do the actual spell, you are already familiar with what you're going to say, where you're going to place your objects, and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and go over really quick and show you guys my personal Book of Shadows. And this is an old austere ritual, which I still do use. So yeah, really quick, let's go check that out. Okay, so for example, here is an austere ritual that I just mentioned. So what I like to do is I like to write down what you will need. And for example, this one needs 5 candles, and I have all the corresponding candles. I will also have like these little asterisk notes, just in case I decide to do it outside. Again, more things of what I'm going to need. And then I will write down the let's begin. Come on, focus. It's not focusing very well, but I know you guys can see it. Anyway, so then the spell will proceed. And it will go on to everything I'm going to say. Like here, for example, these little arrows are kind of like little signifiers of, you know, when to do certain things, if you will. And that's just kind of how I do it, you guys. It's really, really simple for me. And as I was saying, you know, I like to kind of, read it before I actually post it in a book of shadows, you know, just in case I go back to, well, here's another spell. Just in case I go back to something and I'm like, you know, instead of using this kind of incense, maybe I'll use something else, you know, and I even say that, or, and then I have a list, you know, so I always have options, definitely. So anyway, I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I'll see you guys in just 1 second. So yeah, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this helps some of you guys out that were struggling, or like I said, wanted to kind of fine tune their spell crafting or their, ritual crafting spells. These are just things that I do personally. Now, everybody is different. You know, some people choose to write the spell directly into the Book of Shadows, and that's totally cool. I'm a little anal when it comes to those things. Like I said, I like to proofread, I like to practice them, just so I know for sure everything works out for me personally. My intention is true, and the spell will really work. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and comment below what other types of how-tos and DIYs and things like that that you want to see. And until then, I wish you all lots of light, love, and blessings, and I will see you next time. Bye.